Let me tell you a family story. Back in the mid-1920s, my grandparents decided to illegally escape an impoverished Italy. They had to hide in the train bathrooms to avoid border police. 15 years earlier, they would not have had to hide because there were not even passports in Europe at the time. But the First World War changed everything. Beyond its horrors, it brought nationalism, protectionism, and closed borders. Now, my grandparents were also able to find a better life for themselves and their family in France. And who knows, maybe I would simply not be alive today to talk about them in this video had they been coerced to stay on the other side of the border in Italy. Well, all this means one crucial thing for liberals. Freedom of movement, freedom to migrate, is an essential part of freedom. There is first a moral argument to be made in favor of open borders to people. My individual right to freedom is also a right to move freely, to move the property I have on my own body, as long as I do not encroach on somebody else's private property. The pursuit of happiness should not be blocked by borders. Why should a government refuse my access to a society if I want to do good and contribute to it by my honest, hard work? Peaceful migrants do no harm and as such are not criminals and should, of course, accept the general rules of the society that welcomes them, especially tolerance, as locals also have to be taken into consideration for successful integration. The moral dimension of this freedom to migrate is even more highlighted in certain contexts. Indeed, if the pursuit of happiness should not be blocked by borders, the same goes even more so for the escape from hell, like people fleeing wars. The freedom to migrate is very often a question of life or death in that case. When borders are closed, these people have to take even bigger risks. And as an image is worth 1,000 words, let's remember the Syrian Kurdish boy's body washed up on a beach of Turkey on September the 2nd, 2015. And bodies like his actually came in hundreds. Open borders here clearly become a humanitarian question. And criticizing dictatorships that prevent their people to get out, and at the same time, preventing those same people from getting in your country is somewhat inconsistent. Yet, welcoming such migrants requires other accompanying policies, certainly involving civil society, in order to avoid both chaos and a drag on public spending. Open borders to people are part of the concept of a society of free exchange. Closing them is a form of protectionism. More hands to work are a good thing for the economy. And besides their hard work, immigrants also bring new ideas and are thus valuable to the process of innovation. Now, there can be issues of integration. In fact, often exacerbated by labor regulations and public welfare systems that create both economic exclusion and social dependence. But the vast majority of immigrants come to contribute to the society they choose, to work hard, like my grandparents did. They are actually bringing something positive and are not a drag or a burden. Liberalism is about limited government, and it is as much about laissez-faire as it is about laissez-passer.